From learning under Grand Admiral Thrawn to starting an intelligence network for Palpatine, and even meeting Yoda on Dagobah, Jorj Car'das had a life for the ages. Born on Corellia 50 years before the Battle of Yavin, he grew up a smuggler dealing occasionally with the Hutts. In the year 27 BBY, Car'das would first encounter Thrawn, who was still serving in the Chiss Ascendancy at the time. After some time together, they would be swept up in the Outbound Flight crisis, where Car'das witnessed Thrawn destroy the Jedi ship at the behest of then-Senator Palpatine. After this, Car'das was offered a job by one of Palpatine's aides. He would create a massive intelligence network for Palpatine under the guise of a smuggling operation. Car'das' operation grew quickly, and he became quite infamous in the criminal circles of the galaxy, though at that point he was still considered an honorable man. Then, not too long after the Clone Wars ended, Car'das' life drastically changed. He encountered a group of Dark Jedi in the Bafash system who took him captive and killed all of his crew at the time. They would eventually wind up on the planet of Dagobah, which was now home to the hidden former Jedi Grand Master, Yoda. Yoda was able to defeat all of the Dark Jedi and free Car'das before nursing him back to health. A side effect of this was that Car'das gained just a fraction of precognitive powers, because I guess the Force can just do that. When he returned to his organization, usually just called the Organization, Car'das became much more ruthless, and his new ability and seemingly endless youth fueled his ego. Car'das greatly expanded his organization while simultaneously collecting a huge amount of information to basically create his own personal library. However, this would not last, as around the events of Episode 4, his brief stint with the Force faded. He traveled back to Dagobah to confront Yoda, but the Grand Master was having none of it. Yoda told him that the powers he got were a gift from the Force, and that he wasted them, leading to Car'das realizing just how right Yoda was and how terrible he had become. He left Dagobah, as well as his organization entirely, with only a single clue to his whereabouts remaining on the Swamp Planet, which Luke Skywalker would find years later. Shortly thereafter, Car'das was contacted by Thrawn again, this time with the Chiss now in the services of the Empire. Car'das would briefly aid Thrawn in his fight against the criminal warlord Nuso Espa before disappearing from the known galaxy completely. In reality, Car'das journeyed to the far-off planet of Exocron, where he would encounter the spacefaring monks called the Ang-Ti. He would befriend them with his lingering-ish connection to the Force. Car'das would not be reunited with anyone from his past life until 19 ABY, when his former lieutenant and current head of his organization, Talon Karrde, came looking for him. Karrde had hoped that Car'das had a copy of the Ka'amas document to solve a crisis in the New Republic, though the former smuggler did not. Car'das did, however, have information on a trio of Imperials who were orchestrating the crisis, which allowed Karrde to take them down and help usher in peace to the galaxy.